So we're talking about this Kyle Rittenhouse trial and his right to remain silent.
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that.
Just FYI, that's a democratically appointed judge, by the way. With me to talk more about this and all legal matters is legal legend Alan Dershowitz. He's also the host of the great podcast, The Dersh Show, and author of The Case for Colorblind Equality in Age of Identity Politics. Welcome, sir. I want to get right to this. Now, the Judge Schroeder, I mean, should he let's say he calls a mistrial, or because of this, lapse in judgment, we'll call it, by the prosecutor. I mean, what is the ramifications on and this is a seasoned prosecutor, it's not a new guy, that just basically tried to use someone's silence to incriminate them. Is this a big deal or not?
It's a big deal, and the bigger deal is that all the civil libertarians, all the liberals, all the ACLU types, the New Yorker, the New York Times, they all attack the judge for simply applying the Constitution. These phony civil libertarians couldn't care less about due process, about free speech. All they want is due process for me, but not for thee. They're taking sides, they're cheering, they're rooting. The New Yorker, that trashy magazine, it used to be a great magazine, but under the new leadership, it's become a trashy partisan magazine, already dubbed this guy without any evidence the American vigilante. People are picking sides, and they're picking on the judge because the judge has made some fair rulings under the Constitution. If the judge had made, with the same attitude, rulings in favor of the prosecution, the civil libertarians, the liberals, the left, the New York Times would be praising him to the sky. It's so biased. We don't have justice out there. Right. We have partisan injustice.
Well, so speaking of bias, the media, I mean, the media basically convicted this guy in the public eye. I mean, they were so convinced that he was a white supremacist, racist, awful, terrible, no good human that killed 3 innocent people, which, by the way, I wrote down all the charges. I don't know if you can read that, but it's an entire page of charges and convictions from the 3 not victims, guys who were shot by Rittenhouse. Take a look at what the judge said, or what the media said about Kyle Rittenhouse prior to this trial.
His demeanor, the way he speaks to the prosecution, the way he looks at Kyle Rittenhouse like it's his grandson. I mean, come on, America. For me, I don't think it works that way legally. That's cause for a mistrial.
This judge is an absolute joke. He's been a joke from the very beginning. It's absolutely disgusting the way he's conducting himself on the stand there. He's obviously playing for the audience, a certain audience.
So, my question to you, Professor, is for what I believe in my research would be the first time in history, does this judge have any legal recourse, should this, however this is decided, to go after the media, much like the Covington case?
No, I don't think so. I think he has to go after the media by just doing the right thing. This reminds me of some of the most horrible trials in American history. The Shepard trial, the trial of Leo Frank, the trial of African Americans in the South, where the public demanded convictions. And if a judge tried to be fair, the judge would be chased out of town. Right. And that's what's going on here. But the difference is today, it's the left-wing media that is attacking this judge for trying to be fair. They want an outcome. They want a result. And if they don't get their result, and this seeps through to the jury. And I worry that the jury could be influenced by the fear that if they vote to acquit, they'll be called racists. Yeah. They'll be attacked. It's not the thumb of the public that's on the scale of justice here. It's the elbow. And it's creating the possibility of an unfair trial and a trial that is dominated more by the public. We're going to see more of this. The Potter case is coming up in Minnesota, where a policewoman with a long history of being a good policewoman made a mistake and pulled out the wrong gun, and pulled out a real gun instead of a taser. And the public is demanding that she be tried for murder. This is what's vigilante justice. Vigilante justice is what CNN is doing, not what a 17-year-old kid under pressure may have done right or wrong. It's CNN who's involved in vigilante justice. It's the New Yorker that's guilty of vigilante justice.
Well, having been a guy who's had to pull the trigger when their life is in danger, I understand the stress and the toll it takes on someone. But real quick, I have about 15 seconds left. Should he be acquitted? Is he going to be the richest man alive?
He should be acquitted. If I were a juror, I would vote that there was reasonable doubt that he did act in self-defense, and then he'll bring lawsuits. And that's the way to answer. I've sued CNN. The Covington people have sued CNN. You know, the idea is to make the media accountable for deliberate and willful lies.
Yeah.
And that is consistent with the First Amendment.
Yeah, well, they certainly didn't learn from the massive payout to the Covington kids. So, Alan Dershowitz, we appreciate you joining us today, sir.
Thank you.